My HOA president broke into my house while I was asleep, and when I called the police, she showed up at my door wearing a police uniform. My name is Kevin. Last year, I bought a small townhouse in what I thought was a peaceful gated community. But peace doesn't exist when your HOA president is addicted to control. Her name was Marjorie Klein, a 62-year-old retired judge with a sharp bob haircut, dark sunglasses, and a voice that could slice through steel. At first, I thought she was just strict. A note taped to my door because my trash can was 6 inches too far from the curb. Then a warning for leaving my porch light on past midnight. Then came the letter demanding I repaint my house because the beige wasn't beige enough. The woman was relentless. She fined one neighbor for leaving a garden hose out. She told another they couldn't hang wind chimes because the sound disturbed community harmony. It was ridiculous, but most people just paid up or stayed quiet. I didn't. One night around 2 a.m., I woke up to the sound of footsteps in my kitchen. Heart pounding, I grabbed a bat and crept downstairs. And there she was, Marjorie, in my kitchen, wearing rubber gloves and flipping through my mail like she owned the place. I shouted, "What the hell are you doing in my house?" She didn't even flinch. She said, "This is a compliance inspection. You've ignored too many notices." I forced her out and told her if she ever stepped inside my house again, I'd call the cops. The next morning I got a letter. Not from the HOA. This time it was on police letterhead. It claimed that I was under investigation for community violations and potential criminal activity. But the letter looked off. The fonts were wrong, the badge was blurry. That evening my doorbell rang. 2 officers stood outside. Except their uniforms didn't match, their badges were crooked, and one of them was Marjorie. Yes, my HOA president had dressed up as a police officer and tried to arrest me. She told me, "You're in violation of city code. We're here to take you in." I slammed the door in her face and called the real police. They came, took my statement, and promised to look into it. I thought it was over, but it was only the beginning. Within a week, real officers knocked on my door. This time they carried an official notice. My property was being reviewed for seizure due to ongoing criminal activity. I was stunned. This wasn't just HOA drama anymore. Somehow Marjorie had connections. Someone inside the system was listening to her. I hired a lawyer, and together we started digging. What we found was insane. For years, Marjorie had been running the HOA like her own private mafia. She was forging citations, creating fake police letters, and even collecting illegal compliance fees that never went to the HOA budget. She had neighbors terrified into silence. People who spoke up were suddenly buried under fines or mysteriously accused of crimes. One neighbor, an elderly man named Walter, confessed that Marjorie once told him she'd take his house if he didn't stop complaining about her dog barking. Another family had moved out overnight after being threatened with child endangerment charges for letting their kids play basketball in the driveway. The deeper we dug, the darker it got. Marjorie still had old friends in local government from her time as a judge. She leaned on them, pulled strings, and weaponized the HOA rules like they were law. But the evidence was stacking against her. Fake uniforms, forged documents, bank accounts filled with stolen money. Finally, after 2 months of investigations, the district attorney approved a raid. I stood on my porch the day they stormed Marjorie's house. They carried out boxes filled with fake police gear, printers for counterfeit documents, and stacks of HOA fines she had never reported. They even found hundreds of thousands of dollars hidden in a safe. She was arrested on charges of impersonating law enforcement, fraud, forgery, and burglary. When the news hit, the entire neighborhood breathed for the first time in years. It was like a spell had broken. People started talking. Kids played outside again. And the HOA was finally rebuilt under new leadership. But for me, one image will never leave my mind. Waking up in the middle of the night and seeing my HOA president standing in my kitchen like she owned me. So if you think HOAs are just about lawns and mailboxes, think again. Because sometimes, the real danger isn't crime, it's the person who claims to be protecting you. And if you enjoyed this story, subscribe now because the next one might be even darker.